welcome back to my channel. I'm Judy and I'm the running so-and-so, and this is the 12 days of Christmas, day 6. 6 geese are laying. Now, I've started the day with a little bit of a conundrum because there were a few issues with the sewing machine yesterday, and I thought, what is going on? Now, I knew that if the if the little mirrors on my bobbins start to fray, let me see if I can get it into focus. You can't really see, but there's these mirrors on here, and some of these start to get scratched and start to deteriorate. Now I can see under the light here that that is definitely starting. So, well, there you go, you can see now the difference in the two. This one is shinier than this one. So I've just taken the thread off this one, popped it onto this one. Been back onto my lovely friends at David Drummond. Oh, here's one that's really gone. Look at this one. The little mirrors start to break down, but what I'm doing is I'm transferring the thread from the old one to the new one because I don't want them to get wasted. Now then, I've also ordered more tearaway cotton, soft, and Elizabeth is couriering it down, so it will be here tomorrow, which means I will do today's design, and then I will do more infills tomorrow when I've got the cotton soft, because the one I'm using at the moment is the one that is designed to be used for jerseys. So you iron that one on the back, and then you put another one over the top. So you've got one ironed on the back when you put it in before it goes into the hoop, and then you put a sort of a clear layer over the top. I'm going to do some embroidery on jersey. Embroidery ain't stopping, folks. It's going to keep going, but never before have I had bobbins that I have worn out. But it's to do with the sensor system on these bobbins. There is a sensor inside the machine, and if the mirror isn't clear, it sends the sensor into overdrive, and it says, oh, your bobbin's nearly empty, and it stops sewing. I have cleaned the sensor. I was really careful. I have tweezers in my sewing machine emergency kit pack, and I tore off a tiny bit from a lens cleaner for my glasses, these ones you can get from Tesco's, and put a tiny bit on the end, covered all the pointy bits up, and then went inside and gave it a little clean. So I know everything is clean, and now I can start today's design. I've just got to decide what colour to do it for geese. I don't know, geese are sort of a grey in colour, and I've got a dark grey. I did like the way the grey came out when I did it for 2 French hens. Maybe I'll do another grey one. Anyhow, let me just set the machine up, pop you onto time lapse, and I will be back with you when I'm out running with Melanie. My ankle, before I go, my ankle is getting better. I'm going to put my splint on today. We have had some freezing overnight, but by the time the two of us go out in about an hour's time, it will be a little bit easier to. I'm just preparing the typing for today's design, and I just decided to check exactly what 6 is on Google. Good old Professor Google. So I wanted to check that I got geese spelt correctly. I know how to spell geese, but I wanted it to be right. And it is 6 geese are laying, and the a and the laying are hyphenated together. And it says it means 6 geese are laying, 6 large birds producing eggs from a Christmas song. The relationship with you and your sewing machine dealer is top, especially when you've got one of these fancy machines as I'm lucky enough to have. Yesterday I needed some information, some accessories. DPD have just delivered me a box. I rang 24 hours ago. 24 hours later, box is here. That's service. That's all I'm going to say about the service. The 97D for the Bernina with the differential feed, and I have titanium quilting needles, and I have titanium metallic sewing needles. One of these is for Rachel. And I have gold. They've sent me 2 shades of gold. How good is that? That is amazing. Fantastic. And my quilting thread. So this is what I needed. And this is what I need to be able to start sewing the quilt together. I can't speak for any other company, but I know that when you get a foot from Bernina, you get some instructions. Because I've just sent for some of the interfacing that you use for the machine embroidery, and I know that's 15 quid a roll, but then I bought 10 bobbins because the bobbins wore out. So yes, my sewing machine dealer will like me today because I've spent so much money with them over the past 24 hours. I suppose I'm going to be one of the most popular people. I've also got a guide, so it'll be interesting to work out. I've never used these guides before, so that'll be interesting to work out. And I've got a little, so I've got the guide here and a screw to screw it, and a screwdriver. I think that's the needle one. Oh, that's an interesting one. I've not had one of those for a while. And then the foot itself. So these are going to go straight into the box, so I know exactly where they are when I need them. So I'm going into my lovely, I love this box. Not everybody with a Bernina likes this box. There's been quite a few complaints about this box on the internet. Reviews I've read. So on this side here, it comes with it's up a bit. The box comes with full layout instructions. So if you follow the layout instructions, you can't go wrong with it. So on the top side here, it's basically suggesting embroidery and your BSR if you've got one on your walking foot. Now I do have a walking foot, but I don't use it. And on this side here, you've got these 2 bits here. This is a flap. Now I think this is what people are saying falls out when they use it. How do you stop it falling out? Well, you don't, because it's sewn in. Now my top line of feet is completely full because I've got the buttonhole in here. I've got some bobbins in. The lovely ladies at David Drummond's have just asked me if I've got somewhere to store my bobbins, and I said yes, because I store them in here. So I'm going to put everything for this particular model, for this foot. It goes down here at the bottom because it has a space, let me show you, for feet with the differential feed on them. So I'm going to pop this one in here at the very end for the differential feed. This tray back in here on the top. And these bits here are quite essential. So what I tend to do is I keep getting these little bags sent to me, either by David Drummond's or by Bernina. I'm actually going to slip these into here so that I know they go with the 97D. And I'm going to pop it in here with the instructions that I've got for the BSR, and also into there I'm going to slip this so that I know. Can you see? I'm telling you I'm slipping it in somewhere. There's like a meshy thing here, so I just, and then that's there safely. And then needles I put on this side. So I've got quilting needles now. I've got so many needles and so many bits that came with the sewing machine. I really don't know what they all do yet, and I should do. So I'm going to put these needles here at the end here, so I know where they are. These are my metallic needles. One of these is for Rachel, so we'll put Rachel's up on the notice board. So next time I see her, which hopefully might be on Friday, weather dependent, for a run. And I've got some lovely new threads to go on my spike. I've got the quilting thread for this project, which I'll pop up here. And I've got some more metallic thread, which I will pop up. But first of all, let's just, so then this box has got a foam lid that goes in here, and you just twist it over. So I'm back from Slimming World. Not too bad. Just hoping that the meetings can keep going on as lots of the country moves to different levels of lockdown. We've moved from tier 2 to tier 3. Had a lovely evening. I've had a brilliant evening putting together some of the first panels to form the first part of what we think is the quilt. Now, I've also done my flowers and got covered in lily pollen. Thank goodness this is an old running top now, but I don't think lily pollen comes out. I think it stains. Anyhow, so I've got the first bits which I showed you. I'm just going to tilt the camera down so that you can have another look at it. I'm rather hoping if I zoom it out, you might be able to see slightly more of it on a wider angled lens. Hold on a second. Now then, let's have a look. Can you see it there like that? There you can. It's really difficult to show you it in one great big piece unless I stand on something, and I'm not prepared to do that at the moment. Not until my legs are an awful lot better. I won't be standing on any chairs. But it's coming together. I'm being quite fussy about mitering these here corners. Some of them are not 100%, but some of them are really good. That one's really good. These are some of them. We're talking it's a millimetre out, so I think I can let myself off for that one. That's good. We're a millimetre out there and a perfect one there. I've also put together, but I've not ironed, some of the next ones down. We've got the next one that will go on after the bars. The next one, which is the 4 calling birds, 12 days of Christmas and 5 gold rings. And then I couldn't resist starting the next one down again, 6 geese laying with our beautiful wreath. So this middle one will be done tomorrow, and then the next thing I want to do tomorrow is to do some more of the red work. Now I wasn't too happy with the red work that I already had, so I have downloaded some more. I just didn't like it. It just didn't ping the way I wanted it to ping. So tomorrow's job is going to be getting that done, and I still haven't cleaned the kitchen floor. I'm having far too much fun. Far too much fun. And we can't go out anywhere, we can't go and see people. There's a limited amount of wandering around the shops that anybody can do. I'm not a great shopper. I like buying things, but I tend to buy them online from Amazon so I don't have to go into town. As I've mentioned before, I am clinically vulnerable. I am an automatic flu jab person. I have been since I was 30, so I've been over 20 years now. I have quite bad asthma, so I just have to keep that under control, and I take a rattle with asthma drugs in the morning. So I've spent all this time doing sewing, and I've left the house because I've been so engrossed in my little safe sewing space in here. I've got my little television on, I've got the dogs around me, I'm having a ball. I'm keeping you guys happy, and I'm loving reading your comments. Somebody suggested what we're going to do after this. I shall be having at least a week off vlogging when I finish this, but it won't finish on the 12th day of Christmas because I will keep going. Probably not every single day after the 12th day of Christmas. I'll make certain the top is done by the end of the 12th day of Christmas, and then I will probably come back while I'm quilting it. But I will try and do it as much as I can on time lapse. So I'm going to say goodnight now, and hopefully that today's will go up before tomorrow morning in the UK. Day 5 went up on the morning of day 6 because Apple, in their infinite wisdom, decided that they were going to try and load an update. So I'm going to go shooting through to my computer now. I've literally, up until where I started the recording of this evening, all of that is done. I've just got to add this bit on. So that shouldn't take too long. I should be able to get it to upload when I do some more tidying. See you tomorrow. Bye.